Hey, hey, hey. Hey, okay. Out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it. Okay, out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it.
No, I got you. Right there. That's the spot. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you look very comfortable in that position.
Yeah. Because I'm tipping. All right. I'll be on my toes now. I'll make sure we stay up. Logo's out. We're good to go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is my spot right here. I go two hands if you want me to. Yeah, whatever.
He's
you
a
need.
pro. He's a pro.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Perfect.
All right. We good? Y'all good?
Oh, we're
Ready to
good.
roll?
We're just
Vibrate?
excited to see
No.
how you start this fucking engine up here, buddy. How did you guys start a pod? How did it happen? So we literally just take the logo. We just start talking, and then Emily, our producer, I don't even know when we start rolling anymore.
That's why I enjoy
It's nice.
I enjoy that. Like when
Yeah.
certain prices how do we start this?
I know that's a thing, and the truth is, you don't have to start. I feel like that's a big thing when people start podcasting and stuff, or honestly start any stuff. They're like, we have to find a way to an intro or a way to a sign off or something like that.
Facts.
You know, that junk.
Yeah, no catchphrases. It's just like, how does a good conversation start? Like you literally just talk. Like
Yeah. Now is this going?
Yeah, I mean, this might as well be how we started.
this is his bag though, so
We
like I
here.
don't fight him. like yo, that's
We
it.
here. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
No label the pod. Nell, what up, bro?
back at it again.
I mean, let's pay the bill. Shout out to the sponsors.
Shout out to Guap Coin,
Guap
cryptocurrency
Coin.
for the culture,
For the culture.
all that
yeah.
good stuff.
I
yeah.
listen, I know the sponsor, baby. I know I'm going.
Damn right. Yo, today we're sitting down with this was the first podcast we sat down with as a podcast.
Yeah.
And it was super dope and it was good people and good conversations. And it was we admired you guys for a while. We appreciate each other showing love, follow bags, reposts, and shoot, our stuff went up. And we were like, oh shit, these guys, I like these guys.
Oh, nice.
We were it was looking super dope. So we are with the brothers from Two in the Cooler.
Yep.
The
Going
Canada
on?
brothers,
Yes,
Matt
sir.
and Andrew.
Yep.
How y'all doing?
Honestly, so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm
This is
so
already
happy
so
to be
fun.
here.
I feel like I'm just gonna be staring at Keemon the whole time. Look at that boy.
He's just gonna laugh. Like he's just
I
giggling.
know he is. He's just working the ones and twos over there.
It's the 17. We like the 17.
Okay.
New phone. Who this?
New
You can
phone.
tell he's
Who
walking.
this?
You can tell that by the way he carries himself. He's walking around with something a little different in his pocket. The weight's a little different in his pocket. Okay.
That's the pep in his step. Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's be there.
But yeah, man, it's so
man.
cool to see you guys again. 'cause,
Word.
You know, I feel like we've chatted a little bit. You know, always here and there. But you know, we never get to see anybody anyway.
No,
But, we
yeah,
haven't seen you
yeah.
guys probably since in person since that episode. So
Word.
yeah, so it's sick to be here. Thank you guys so much.
I know. I'm fired up to be on. I was saying we don't get to go on many other podcasts, so I've been thinking about it all day.
No.
I was excited to be on here. I'm like, this is nice. And it looks awesome in here. I'm fired up. I'm ready to roll.
Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all coming to sit down with us. It's definitely
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We real quick, I wanted to ask you guys this because we were talking about it yesterday and we couldn't come up with a definitive answer. But this is, I mean, I know you guys are music guys. Obviously, this is no label. What decade do you had the most one-hit wonders? Because I think it was the 80s.
Yeah, it's tough to think because honestly, I'm a hip hop baby.
Mhm.
So it's when you think of pop and disco, all that stuff, 70s, 80s, it's so many names.
If I'm thinking hip hop, I can't really gauge for just the music in general.
Okay.
But for hip hop, I would say early 2000s.
Really?
Like the
I would have
like,
guessed 90s. For
like the
that.
dance era, like the
Snap
the
music.
snap and roll, the jerk music,
Mhm.
the
Oh, okay.
Dougies, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like the guy who made Dougie, where you at?
Who
Cat
else?
Daddy.
Cat Daddy. The
only
Pack.
the only one who was making music like that that's still around or relevant is Soulja Boy.
And that's just relevance. It's not even music.
Yeah.
Like, It's
Yeah.
just social
Really?
relevance. Man, yeah, there's a lot.
Did you know Soulja Boy got the first iPhone? He was the first person to get an iPhone.
He's the reason why there's streaming platforms
No
not like as much bullshit as he talks. Like
Bro, he needs to get
The
his
reason-
respect and credit. He started a
Yeah.
lot
I
of
think
shit.
you're right. I think
Napster
he
is
started
a
a
thing
lot of
because
shit.
of Soulja Boy. Like, you ever download a music song and it's like Bill Clinton's like, oh, this is Bill Clinton and I did not have a relationship with that woman. Like, it'd be like Jay-Z, Nas, and Michael Jackson have a song together. You download it and you think it's something else. It was either Bill Clinton or it was Soulja Boy.
Crank that, yep.
Oh, really?
He
Yeah.
would like label the songs as like 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent, 21 Questions. Like any popular songs, that's how he would label the song. And as soon as somebody cut it on, he'll just be like, you.
Yeah, and then
It'll be
that's
crank
how
that.
it caught fire.
Yeah.
And then that's when like ringtones became a thing. Napster became a thing. Like they saw how much people were selling ringtones and Millionaire. Like it's like they were like, oh shit, we gotta go digital.
I forgot you could buy ringtones.
Ringtones were huge for
Yeah.
a second.
Not
Nelson
for me.
Nelson
I
still
still
got a
have
ringtone.
ringtones.
Yeah,
I still have a
don't.
ringtone.
I don't think we were ever allowed to buy buy ringtones.
we had this guy in our neighborhood who had a ton of like Family Guy ringtones and like funny ringtones and stuff. And so we would play them on his phone and then like record them on our phones so that
Yeah,
we
that's
could,
what
like,
I-
try
that's
to
what I used to do.
basically
Yeah. It
bootleg
would
it, I
sound
guess.
real
It would sound
shitty,
really
but-
bad, but it'd be
Oh.
like, that's Ollie Williams. Ollie Williams one from Family Guy.
Yeah.
That was a classic one.
I still know
yeah.
how to make them. Like if you wanted a ringtone, like I could still do it.
What? Really?
Literally.
I
Okay.
feel like I've never tried it with the ringtone because my ringer's never on anymore. But I feel like you can do that with alarms though. Like you can set your alarms to music now. I did that for a while when I was in high school, and I have blocked the song completely out of my memory because I hated it so much by the time like it was said and done because it would wake me up every morning. It
What
was the
song
same.
was it?
I don't even remember.
You don't remember and it woke you up every morning?
because I like
CTE,
totally blocked it.
CTE.
Yeah, and the CTE. Yeah.
Hockey.
Hockey.
But dude, it drove me nuts. Like every time I heard that song, I'd be miserable. I'd be like, this is the worst experience of my life. Why does anybody like this song anymore? Because it woke me up for like 4 straight years.
Yeah, don't wake up to the same song, man. I used to wake up to a different song every day. I'd go alphabetically, artist, and then I would go through like all their
You
songs.
set your alarm different
That's-
every night though?
Yeah.
See, that's way too much work. I would never do that.
Fair.
The only song like that I can say I like hate from hearing it too much was Rihanna's in what's that? So Hard.
I know.
Oh my! Like we had basketball practice and like one of the CDs like got scratched, so every song skipped except this one song. So for 2 hours straight, like every day for like a week, and like before basketball games, this song on repeat.
The only
That's
no
torture.
that,
Do that.
and moves like Jagger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That song and moves like Jagger. Only 2 songs for a warm up basketball game. Public school too, by the way.
That's how you get pumped up, man. Moves like Jagger.
fuel it.
There's
Yeah,
no
I need
moves
that-
on
I
the
need that
court, too,
Rihanna.
Jagger.
out there, you thought
That's what
Prince
I
was
used.
good?
That's
You
what I
thought
used to
Prince could
listen to
play ball?
pregame. I put in my headphones, move like Jagger, nonstop. Yeah.
Going down a blue line to moves like
Yeah.
Jagger, baby.
Bruh,
You know you're gonna score that night.
Shooting bricks the whole game.
You listen
That's so
listen
funny.
to music while you work out?
Yeah.
Do you listen to music while you work out?
Nah, so I've been like, no, not anymore because I've been big on like the Peloton grind. So like they have music playing, but like you're listening to like a person pretty much tell you what to do.
Good.
So I used to when I was playing sports, I would like when we had workouts and stuff like that, but I don't anymore just because I listen to like some like 30-year-old like woman yell at me that I'm not going fast enough. Yeah.
She's right though.
Yeah, she
I've been
is. I
meaning to
dig a
talk
little
to you
deeper
about
every
it.
time.
That's
Yeah.
good.
For me, it's like when I listen to the music, it's like there's certain songs like I like this song. When I'm working out to it, it's like, oh, get this shit out of my fucking like
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah,
make
I
me
know
not like this
exactly
song
what you
because
mean.
I'm in pain.
Because and then you'll
Oh,
associate
I
it.
wasn't thinking about it like that.
Well, I think of it like then you associate it. Like I used to have songs that like I would never listen to outside of a setting like that, like before like a game or something like that, and or like when you're working out, you try to get like pumped up, you know what I mean? But I would never listen to it outside of that scenario, or like vice, like you were saying, I would never want to listen to a song that I like in those moments. But what I will say is during games, like, you know, at whistles, like when the plays stopped in hockey, they play music, and I would sing all the time. Like I would just get into a groove, like whatever. It didn't matter what it was. It would fire me up. When we used to go down to RMU to play Robert Moses in Pittsburgh area, they would always play the song Africa by Toto during like our 20-minute warm up. And I would just, everybody would be like warming up, like getting ready for the game. And I just be just absolutely
The
chilling.
little
Like,
keyboard part.
Yeah.
That shit, yeah, I do like that.
Who'd you play hockey for?
I played for the ACHA team at Canisius College. Yeah,
Okay.
is where I went. A lot of different places before that, but yeah, I was there for 5 years. So listen to the song "Africa" by Toto a lot of times. Yeah.
Nah, that's fire. So you guys are from the Buffalo area.
Yeah.
What location? Where you guys from?
Wheatfield.
Really?
Like Tonawanda.
Yeah, we feel well. I would say like we're right in between Niagara Falls and North Tonawanda is like where we were. So like our address was Niagara Falls, but we didn't live in the Falls. We lived in Wheatfield. We went to Niagara Wheatfield.
Oh yeah, he's throwing up. He's throwing up gang signs. Niagara Falls gang signs back there.
Hey, listen, dude.
Hey, I'm just happy we don't have another set of another PA guest, perform arts guest. Finally got to switch up.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the reasons I was excited about coming on too. Like I notoriously say on our podcast, because we've had a ton of musicians on, a ton of people that like are interested in music, and I'm like, I'm not like I like to listen to music, but I'm not like a music person. So I love talking to people that are like either know a lot about music, are very good at like making or like, you know, the creative aspect of music, or like know a lot about the history of it. And like, I love listening to people talk about it.
It's the coolest thing. Like listen to anybody who's like super passionate about something that you know very little about. It's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
I watched a whole documentary today. This is gonna sound, I don't.
Oh,
Go for
you
it.
committed
I
already.
don't
You
wanna
gotta
reveal
tell us.
myself like this.
Gotta tell
But I
us.
watched a whole documentary today about the Pokemon trading card like competitions and how like big that is, and it was fascinating. It was so honest. It was like it followed these groups of people, you know, going through the year to try and make it to like the world championships that they have of like Pokemon cards or whatever. So it was like a 4-part thing on YouTube.
Yeah. So we're from Wheatfield. Yeah. We grew up in yeah, that's where we're from.
The land of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Real.
Nah, that's fire.
But yeah, just learning something that you don't know anything about beforehand is interesting and fun.
Nah, for sure. And it's like shit. Being out in Wheatfield, it's not like inner city. So it's like
not even close,
like in order to learn, you gotta
We got
be tapped
cul-de-sacs
in.
on cul-de-sacs out there, dude. Our neighborhood is just a big cul-de-sac
With a little
another
cul-de-sac. Yeah, where we grew up, there's
Yes,
just a
the
lot of
street that we
cul-de-sacs. Yeah.
Yes,
That's
big
dope.
time.
So when did you guys ever move into the city? Like you were at Canisius.
Yeah, so when I like went to Canisius, I lived in the dorms down there my first 2 years, like right off of like Eastwood, like downtown, like, you know, right off of Main Street there. And then I moved and I lived at the end of Hughes, like down, like right on the corner, like Humboldt Ave.
Oh yeah, that's the party over there.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a fun time living down there. And then I moved around a few different places. I still live in North Buffalo now. I'm not going to be there for much longer, but I've been there for about 2.5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Like right by the zoo. Yeah.
Okay, dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
I lived over there by you know where Daddy-O's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
I live like not far from Hurdle. Yeah.
Yep. I lived over there for a few years.
Yeah.
I love the Buffalo area. Are you in
No, I live in the city of Rochester now.
really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So you drive up every Wednesday to
I drive up, a couple times a week. Because we we have a couple shows that like run out of our studio or whatever. So I come up for them, and then of course for like Wednesdays and stuff, and drive back and forth a ton. But honestly, doesn't bother me that much.
what's
When-
the
Yeah, when did you move to Rochester?
2019,
Like
summer
right before,
2019.
Yeah, before COVID.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I my wife is a nurse. She works at Strong, which is like a top tier hospital out there. So that's why we moved out there. And remember the day I went to pick up the keys for our new apartment. I quit the job that I got out there, and it was brutal for a little while. Like, fuck, we just moved to Rochester. What's going to happen? But then I started working at the CBS station, the CBS affiliate over there, and we moved into the actual city because we were living in like Chilai, which is real. It's almost like Batavia, kind of like there's just really nothing there. So now we live in the city of Rochester, and it rules. It's awesome.
Nah, that's what's up. That's
Yep.
what's up. So how long is that commute for the?
It's like an hour and 15 minutes,
Okay.
but it's all right because a lot of times, sometimes I need that to like cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
If something is working or is not working, you kind of
Right.
need that cool down period either way, and lets me listen to like 4 podcasts a day, which I really like. Just to absorb as much as I can. So I don't mind that at all.
Nah,
Kid
like,
loves knowledge.
I do. I can't get enough knowledge.
That's.
He doesn't
we're
have a
here.
lot of it.
I
He
don't.
just loves
That's why.
it.
Yeah. I just like the concept of knowledge, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I like to buy a bunch of books and then not read them. That's kind of my.
That felt like a personal shot at me, actually. That felt directed at me.
Have you ever spent $1 on a book?
No, but I
didn't think so.
I have a lot
He
of
said
them.
Yeah,
no.
but you've been gifted books.
Yeah.
You've never paid for a book.
No,
dude.
I've
I
never
can't
paid for a book
imagine
in my
you
life.
spending any amount of
One of
money
these
on the
days, I'm going to
printed
buy
word.
my own book. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. If you give them Moose a muffin.
Yeah. If you give him out some cookies,
Good story. It's a good story.
Yeah.
Listen,
A
you gotta,
muffin.
you gotta start small, man.
Yeah,
You gotta
heavy on the
start
picture.
small.
I go heavy on the picture.
You learn a
and
lot
shit.
of life lessons in those books, man.
Nah,
Give
yeah,
them out a
facts.
cookie.
Absolutely.
I just picked up Dante's Inferno yesterday.
So pretty much,
Yeah, no.
you're
dude,
on
yeah.
you're on your way.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno. Who wrote
Nah,
that?
it was recommended by somebody.
Who's that by?
Dante something.
Right,
So the
right,
book
right.
is called The Inferno, but
The
people just
Inferno.
refer to
Yeah,
it as
Written by
Dante's
Yeah.
Dante.
Even I've actually heard that one.
Yeah.
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 But I've been told to read it since I was like 10 years old.
I've heard it's really cool.
Yeah.
I've read a couple of like, parody things about
Yeah,
it.
like my gym teacher in school, till I see him till this day, he refers to me as Dante's Inferno. Because we did like this little game in gym class, and my team name, he named it Dante's Inferno. So literally, I seen him like last year.
Nice.
Dante's Inferno.
Well, it's good to have fun at work. It's good to try and make jokes at your job.
yeah.
Things interesting for yourself.
Do any of y'all remember the commercial for the video game Dante's Inferno? And it would play Bill Withers' "Ain't No Sunshine."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember. It was like it would play the Bill Withers, and it's this dude just running in the field. His wife gets pulled into hell. He just and he screams. It used to freak me out as a kid. Like I'm like, what is this?
No,
Like,
yeah, I remember
Dante's
that shit.
Inferno.
God, getting pre-nightmares hearing about that.
Literally,
I heard it's one of the best pieces of literature ever, though.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
yeah.
I might
I'll
have
see
to check it
soon.
out too.
I'm a bad person to ask, but yeah, I do believe
Are you
it.
still reading Harry Potter though?
Yeah, I mean, that's my problem is I would like to be still reading it, but
Kid's
When
just
I
so
can.
busy. He's such
when I
such a
can't,
busy guy.
dude, I hate. I don't know if you ever
Barely
get like
got
this. I
time to
hate
shave.
when people are like, "Have you been doing this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm busy," because I know everybody's busy, so I hate being like I'm busy. I don't like
yeah,
that's. I hate using that as an excuse,
know.
like I'm busy.
yeah. I know.
But I mean, what am I?
I
gonna
know
do?
exactly
Yeah.
what you mean, though. I hate doing that stuff. Like, oh, I'm so tired, dude. We're all tired. You woke up today. You're so tired.
That's a fact. I go into fucking work off 2 hours of sleep and then deal with it. Like I work at an alternative school, or in it gets wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets wild. Like restraints, like full blown everything.
Dang,
So
holy
it's like-
smooks.
So I
You don't
definitely-
feel like you need sleep to.
I
prepare
definitely
before you
do,
go in there?
but it's like I have like
If you had the option between sleep and no sleep, you'd be picking sleep.
Yeah.
So I have a board in my room that has like memes of like emotions. So it's like, and it's like I tell the kids it's for them, but in reality it's for me. Like this is the I'm exhausted. Please don't leave me alone. Like I'm cool. Like you can approach me type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like teaching them emotional self awareness and stuff like that. Like yo, I'll let you know when like not to bother me and like not to mess with me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But so please do the same for me.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's a kind of an emotional respect thing,
Yeah.
which is a curious
Yeah,
I think people, because people do have problems with that sometimes.
For sure.
It's very
We've
interesting.
we've been it's a lot
Emotional
of-
intelligence.
It's a
It's a
lack.
skill set.
It's lack.
Absolutely.
and even if you have it yourself, it's hard to respect it with other people sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you got to understand that sometimes other people are like in a mood where they're like, everything's cool. I just don't feel like fucking
Yeah.
having this conversation.
It's
Right
it's
now.
hard to recognize.
Yeah.
It's hard to recognize because
Yeah.
it shows up in so many ways. Like
Yeah, and
Go
I'm the
ahead.
type of person where like if I'm like thinking something like boom, let's have this let's have this conversation. You know what I mean? Let's talk about what's going on. Like how do we end up here? Like what happened? And for anything, like whether it be like
Yes.
work related, like relationship related, anything like that. Like I'm a type of person where instantly I'm like I'd rather have this conversation now than wait till later because then it's just going to be something that's on my mind. Where other people are like I need a day to just breathe and not think about this and let's come
sure.
back to it and then we'll have this conversation. And if you try to interrupt that, it's not productive at all for anybody.
Yeah, some people need time to digest things, but I'm the
That's-
same way. Like that was one of the first biggest lessons I learned with my wife when we started dating because she's like I need like 20 minutes to like process things, and I'm like, we gotta solve this now. Like as soon as there's a problem, we gotta start working this thing out. And it's like,
yeah,
So do
sometimes
you
it's
think?
not the best thing?
Because I was thinking about what you said, and I'm thinking about what you said. Do you think that's like more of a like selfish thing though? Like I want to handle this now. We need to fix the situation.
I know that for me, I do that from a selfish place. I
I would
100%
agree.
I do.
Because it's the
Yes.
way that it's funny that you say this because we've never had this conversation before, but it's definitely and that's why like you try to figure it out, right? You try to find a middle ground because like for you, it makes things worse to not have the conversation, but for the other person, it's going to make things worse to have that conversation right now.
Facts.
So it's like, and you can't always, it's got to go both ways. Like you got to,
yeah. Sticking to the goal was like
Yeah.
knowing what you want to accomplish.
and that's not even again like I know like you compared it to like your wife, but it's not even a relationship only thing. It's everything.
It's
Like,
work,
just
it's
communication
everything.
thing.
Yeah,
People,
I think work is a huge thing because it's like you can't really have conversations like that at work either. You know what I mean? Like not like you could in your
I'll tell
household.
you, like we like, if we push on the kids, like, yo, please let us know when you're having a bad day so we can adjust accordingly. There are so many coworkers that I have that are having like shit days, and like you can tell when they're like spazzing on the kid, like just in the tone. And it's like our kids are like, oh, I can match that. Like, let's go. Like, so it's wild, but it's like it's so many times where it's like, yo, we need to the same like expectations we have for these
Sure.
kids.
Practice
we
what you
need to
preach a little bit.
practice what you preach.
Yeah.
And we deal with that a lot. It's like I got to be really like aware of what I say because kids come up to me now. Hey, I'm watching your podcast. Come up to me like because I got their phone. Hold on, I liked it on Instagram. You see me? And I'm like, I saw it. Thanks.
Oh,
Thank
dude,
you.
So what would you say your style is of communication? Like as far as, are you more of a upfront, like we need to handle the situation now, or let it fester for a little bit?
No, I honestly I prefer to like address it immediately, but I'll be patient enough. I'll remain silent. Like we'll silently sit in this space until you're comfortable to talk.
I feel like trying to get it done quick is a very dude-oriented thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, let's get this done quick so that I can like honestly get back to work on like other.
You ever heard of the
stuff.
book The Way to Superior Man?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And he talks about how men's like the essence of like masculinity is to be direct and like to bring something to an end. If there's a problem, okay, I want to fix it so it can be done. I don't want to do this, da 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 da. And then it's talked about like the nature of like femininity is to like kind of just experience and go through it and go through the flow and consistently be in motion, like emotions. Like women are feminine is emotional, versus masculine is like, okay, I want to end this to solve a problem to go to the next thing type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's just it's
God.
dope.
Women
kind
are
of-
for Venus, men are for Mars. brother, holy smokes.
It's the truth.
sure.
I mean, it's the truth. Like the way you look at things. Like I can think of so many. I mean, pretty much my day-to-day life is like I have to get one thing done so I can get the next thing done. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's big time like with that. And I have this conversation with my girlfriend all the time when we're in that kind of like butting heads of like when do we decided time to solve this. In my mind, it's like if we solve something right now, then it's solved and we can move on to the next
Let
thing.
me fix this problem so you don't have to complain about it. And
Yeah,
it's
well, and not even that, but it's like, but pretty like exactly that. But it's more like like in my mind, it's going to be a problem until it's solved. In her mind, it's like it doesn't need to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like we can figure it out.
It's like I just want to vent. I don't want you to fix this
Dude.
problem. I just want you to listen to me.
I had to learn that too.
For me,
I had to learn that. Yeah.
oh shit!
I've been doing it wrong.
Yes, because
I'll openly
my
admit
God, that was
I am the
crazy.
worst at that with everything. Like
Facts.
I feel like if somebody wanted advice, like I could give it to them, but if somebody wants to just like rant or vent or like just get something off their chest, I have to tell myself like on repeat, like they are not looking
Yeah, this
for a
is
solution.
You just got to kind of zone out and just let them talk.
Yeah, because to me, I'm like, oh yeah, just like handle that shit. You know what I mean?
But if you're not listening and they ask you on your recall,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to kind of like
not
tap
perfect.
in every once in a while and just say something that they think that you're paying attention.
You should just take
and
like
then
a
check
little,
back out.
Start recording on your phone whenever it happens, so you have notes to listen back to later.
fucking
Yeah,
the
that's
stenographer.
that's what got me. That's one of the worst
Dude.
ideas I've ever heard. Like,
That's a bad idea.
Imagine like you think your wife's working and you're like sitting there at the kitchen table like taking notes about the conversation you guys had the night before so that you can remember it. And she like walks in, she's like, "What are you listening to?" And
Sure.
you're
But
like,
yeah, I
"Yeah,
mean that's
recording."
on you. You gotta be safe about that. What I'm saying is like think about the times in your life where you have been in a relationship with someone and gotten into some kind of argument and they start like scrolling through past texts. If you have a stenographer or a recording, you're just giving them too much dirt on you, dude.
It's like you ever watch the show How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Mhm.
It was like a sitcom, and there was an episode where like this guy starts dating his best friend's ex-girlfriend, but like they were like supposedly fine about it, but in order to do it, he had a journal pretty much of notes from when he dated this girl and like gave her the rundown of like do's and don'ts so that he could be like a good boyfriend. And he ended up getting caught with the journal because he was like referring to the journal to like run his relationship. And yeah, that's pretty much
interesting.
what you're looking for.
Yeah, something like that. Just a
That's a
ledger.
horrible
Just
idea.
a ledger.
Yeah.
Something.
Take notes.
Am I blending into this couch?
Yeah, you are. Perfect.
fuck, I
Low-key.
thought so.
Yeah. You got no torso.
It's like a camo.
Dude, edit it out. Just put like an island or something there. To move it.
Just the
Like
floating
John
head.
Yeah.
Oh man. How long have you been married?
Dude, I got married like 3 months ago or something.
Not
like that.
long.
Like, not long at all.
yeah.
That's why, dude, if
Congratulations.
you ask me how it's going right now, I'm like, it fucking rules. It's the coolest thing ever, dude. It's awesome.
There's some old guy watching like he
Yeah, he doesn't
The
even
honeymoon
know.
phase.
Son, dude. It's,
Doesn't
it's
know
a
what he's
fucking
in for.
Vietnam vet watching the boys like load up on the ship, the young recruits. God damn it.
That's like the
lost
one,
another.
the one, like that's gotta be my biggest takeaway from like watching him get married is like the amount of men in their 50s that are like, oh, marriage,
God,
like
dude,
that
it's
just
so-
have nothing but negative things to say about marriage. And it's like, hey, how about we mix in a little positivity here, bud?
Something. Just get some. The thing with that is like you just want to hear something different. Like it's the same thing. Like you remember like when you graduate high school and people ask you like the same 3 questions every conversation you have. It's like going to college. What are you going to college for? Where are you going to college? And stuff. I'm like,
Disgusting.
Jesus fucking Christ. So every time I see somebody like a cousin or something who just graduated high school, I'm like, which question are you the most sick of answering? Because you know they're just getting the same shit every time, and it's the same fucking thing
that's
when
a
you
good
get
question.
married. It's
I like to ask like when they're going to college, I'm like, oh, so do you do drugs?
yeah, because get ready. Depending on where you're going,
you
you're
think
gonna
there
need
there
to.
were wild kids who did drugs at your high school, huh? Oh, wait till you go to college. Like,
Oh my god, dude! I remember the
Please
first
do
time.
drugs. I'm about to start using that.
I remember.
be prepared.
That is a good one, actually. I remember the first time I ever saw somebody do cocaine. I was at my friend's house, and this guy just walks in, and he has his own name tattooed on his knuckles. First of all, his name was like Tim or something. And his own name like sprawled across his knuckles. He pulls out like a little baggie, and he's got like the fucking fingernail in it. So he
Come
like
on.
does his little thing, and I was like, "So this is who's been doing cocaine this whole time? Is fucking Tim with his." So I guess so he doesn't forget. He's doing too much. I don't know.
Man, my first roommate in Cleveland State, his name was Matt. Yo, first time I ever lived with a white kid. I'm like dope. I get to hang out with this white boy all day, dope. And he's like, well, yo, we're going out. He's like, all right. So he's like, we're getting ready. I go into his room. I knock on his door. He's like, oh yeah, bro, come in. He's popping open the P.E.M.D.A.S, snorts it. I'm like, oh shit. Like he's like, I'm ready to black out tonight. I'm like, oh shit. Like, best believe he blacked out. Like he blacked out that night.
True to his word. True to his word.
his job. Hey, listen,
and that's what I
everybody's got
appreciate
rules.
about Matt. That's what I appreciate about Matt is, he's a guy who, if he says he's going to do it, he's going to follow through.
Yeah, stick to your
So
guns.
shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Shout
If
out
he's
to
still
the
alive.
Mets.
Shout out to
He's
Matt.
still
Yeah,
alive.
he's still kicking.
He's in the military somewhere. Like,
Oh, no, kid. No, he's a senator now. He's a senator of Ohio. That one senator just got kicked. I think she was a senator. She might have been a congresswoman. She got kicked out of a concert or a stand-up show.
Dude.
She was having
Oh,
sex in
I
the
did see that.
I think it was just a little OTPHJ.
brother. There was something going on.
Old fashioned.
There was
Give
a
her
little-
husband
yeah.
old fashioned.
Hold on, what'd you just say? Oh,
OTPHJ.
what is that?
Over the pants hand job.
Yeah. Standard. You guys never heard that?
He said standard.
That's an old fashioned.
It's PEMDAS and whatever the fuck you just said. Those are two.
Hey, listen, man. We don't got time to be
P.E.M.D.A.S.
saying all that. We don't got time to be saying all that.
Nope.
Does anybody still use PEMDAS? No.
Brother, I'm
Dude,
using
no.
PEMDAS
I still use
You do? Oh yeah, well, you're in math.
I teach math. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't actually, but I do say it a lot. Like if there's like not to go back to problem solving, but not a real problem. But if somebody's like, what are we gonna do? Like, or if like if you're like with your buddies or something, and they're like, hey, like, we're supposed to do this. Like, what are we gonna do tonight? Blah blah. It's like, oh, PEMDAS, easy. You start with the parentheses, you go from there. Like you figure it out. Yeah. So I always resort back to that and the quadratic theorem.
Yeah.
Theory?
Quadratic equation.
Quadratic equation.
Yeah.
And there's not just one quadratic equation.
All right, well, fuck you.
Multiple.
What about y equals mx plus b?
Come on, slope intercept.
Sound like a
Slope
fucking
intercept.
Yeah.
cheat
I
code.
You don't, use that every day?
The Pythagorean theorem is also
Well, we can talk Pythagoras all
Yeah.
day. I don't. We
a squared
could.
plus b squared equals c squared. That's
God
that's
damn,
Come on now.
dude! I
Yeah.
just
Come
went
on
from
now.
6 to midnight hearing that. Talking right angles, dude. You don't got to tell me nothing.
Now, geometry has been useful in life.
Don't bring that obtuse shit over here, dog.
Bro,
Obtuse.
geometry has been useful.
I'll tell you
90-degree angles, 45 degrees.
I'm trying to keep an isosceles lifestyle over here, man. You're being obtuse. I can't handle it.
I wish I was better at math. Like people that are really good at math are very, very useful. Like it's true.
I try.
Yeah. Like
Math?
that is just not me. I was really good at math.
Speak
Yeah.
to my students, my math students.
I
right
will.
now,
I will.
who watch my show and it's like, yo, you're not good at math, but you can do it.
Like
you can do it in
You-
life.
You
Like
know
you don't
what?
need this skill.
This is actually probably an even better life lesson for him.
PEMDAS here. You don't.
I
need
was-
that. You need PEMDAS here, brother.
that starts from there.
I was good at math. Like I was I think it was like 8th grade. You could
How
take
many apples are in
advanced
this
math,
basket?
which was like algebra, and then so 9th grade. I don't know. I think you took like geometry,
Yeah.
and then like whatever
did
you cut,
advanced.
and then 10th grade you would take trigonometry. Like if you took advanced math from 8th grade up, and like so. Algebra, easy. Like I was good at it. Whatever. I wouldn't say easy, but I was good at it. Geometry, all good. Trig, I had a good start to trig. So I was in 10th grade, and halfway through the year, a kid that I was playing hockey with at the time, who was a senior, was having to retake trig because he couldn't pass the exam. He kept failing it. So he joined my trig class, and I probably had like I don't know, maybe like mid 80s in trig in the first like half of the year, like the first semester or whatever. And then he joined my class, and the second semester I failed, and I ended up failing the exam like miserably. And I'm not going to blame him. I'm going to blame myself. But like it was
doesn't
definitely
sound like it.
It was like an
It sounds like
instant
you are
like
blaming him.
yeah. I mean there was the problem was there was obviously a reason that he hadn't passed it yet, and it was 100% because he wasn't paying attention, which led to me not at all paying attention. And then I didn't end up passing it till my senior year. But when I did
Not a
pass the
liar.
trig exam, I got a 92 on it.
Okay, fine. Yeah, shit, that was better than me. No, I didn't know. I didn't have to take the exam because I think I was like ahead of before they put it in place. I failed. I should have. She should have failed me.
Yeah, I think I failed it, but we didn't need to pass it. We just needed to pass the class.
Yeah,
same.
I was the same
to
way,
get-
but I was just a
diploma or
driven
something.
guy that felt like I needed to pass the trig exam apparently. And the only reason I ever did was because they had like a trig prep class where it was really not even trig. It was like, how do you use a calculator? Like once you figure out how to use the calculator, just boop 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 boop,
That was a great class. Mr.
typing away.
Mr. Highwheeler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy
Yeah.
ruled. He was a nice fellow.
That story reminded me of one of my math teachers I had when I was taking high school math in like 8th grade at PA, and we had this teacher. She looked like Miss Chokes on Dicks from South Park.
Mm-hmm.
And she had like a weird lip, like she had a like she would talk like this.
Little-
Yo, it used to be so funny. Like we'd be trying not to laugh, and I was a complete asshole. Like in the class, like never doing homework, like but getting hundreds on the test.
Yeah.
Like you always disrupting my class. You didn't do any work. Fill everything out, get 100, walk up the class, flipping her off. Like it was terrible.
I feel like that's like how high school was for us too, though. Like
big time.
they'd be like, you have homework. And you
Show
just-
your work was a phrase that made me so angry,
that shit is
dude.
Dude, I'll tell you
I
what
know.
though,
I'm
the
like,
way
this
that they
is
do
what it
math
is,
now
though.
is different type of math. Like
Bro, and then
they've got some
teachers,
crazy-
they wouldn't give you credit for getting the answer right just because you didn't show work.
I know.
I get it as a math teacher.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Now I do.
dude.
Yeah.
Like
You're the one with the power to change
Or
things.
no, or there's teachers who also like, no, you have to show the work the way that I taught you to show the
that
work.
is what I
that's
That's the
completely
worst
disagree
too.
with.
Which is also, especially in math, I feel like that's fucking crazy.
It's-
In life, that's
it's
crazy.
insane.
Everybody
Yeah.
thinks
True.
differently. Everybody processes things
Oh
differently.
my god.
Don't
yeah.
get me started on systematic oppression.
Everybody does shit differently. Like me, like I mean, I know I'm not good at math, but I'll see like I'll be like walking through a college campus, I'll see a whiteboard, and I'll just go up there, solve the equation.
Good.
Yeah, that's Good Will
Blackboard.
Hunting.
Good Will
Damn,
Hunting.
damn.
You guys
Matt-
ever see
Matt
that
Damon?
movie?
Yeah.
Matt Damon? Robin Williams playing a very serious
Hold on,
Robin
what movie?
Williams.
Good
Good
Will
Will
Hunting.
Hunting.
Nah.
Oh,
Dude,
dude, and all
it's
the time- that's
so
how-
good.
That's how I was. Fuck. That's how I was. I'd be saying, do you know how fucking easy this is for
It's
me?
my favorite scene.
This
in
is
that
so
movie.
easy for me.
God damn it! It's worth the watch. It's
When did
worth
it come
the-
out? Like
Oh,
90s?
Nine-
Oh, that was yeah,
97.
that's
Dude, so that movie, it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote it together, and they were pretty much unknowns at the time, but Matt Damon obviously stars in it, Ben Affleck's in it too. They win the Academy Award. Everybody's like, "Holy shit! These are like the hottest kids in Hollywood now." Dude, their Oscar speech, they get up on stage, and in retrospect, it's crazy because they walk up there and they're holding their Oscars high, and they're like, "We want to thank Harvey Weinstein for everything, helping us out," because he produced the movie, was Miramax, and that's like, and they're like, "We owe it all to Harvey. We
That
owe
didn't
it all
age
to
well.
Harvey."
No.
It did not age well.
Can
It
Can
did
I ask
not
a
age
question?
well.
Okay, so from your guys' point of view, why does Spotify ban and like YouTube ban all of R. Kelly's music, but Hollywood won't ban Harvey Weinstein's movies?
I think because,
Ooh.
well, you can answer.
No, I'm
I would guess.
I think
guess
because it's way more people involved when
That's
it comes
exactly
to making
what
a
I was
movie.
gonna say.
When as R. Kelly's music, it's like R. Kelly wrote the song. He probably produced a lot of it too, and he recorded the song. Like, who are they really hurting by not playing his music?
It's probably a financial thing too, like the difference between like how many
How
like
much money
what
went
how much
into
revenue is
this.
getting generated based on hit R. Kelly streams versus how much money a studio can make by like those movies being on Netflix still. You know what I mean, or whatever
Facts.
that is.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
You make
probably
so much money on
more,
that back catalog of films.
yeah,
now,
money
you know?
involved.
That's where that's what Warner Brothers is doing because they're, in such financial turmoil over there that they're shooting off their stuff as much. Sorry about that, but they're sending out their back catalog of movies to as many streamers as they can because they need the cash and they've got a lot of good ones, in
Makes
the
sense.
tank. So,
Shout out to Warner Brothers,
dude,
keeping black
Hold
people
on,
out
so
of
R.
jail for a
Kelly's
long
music is
time.
banned on Spotify?
Huh?
His music is banned on Spotify?
Yes, they pulled it. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure. I've
I
seen
didn't know
them
that
talking
either.
about that.
How long ago? I feel like it got put back on
COVID,
there.
like
Yeah,
When
I think
it was
I think it's back
all
on there.
when
I'd
that
hope
video.
so, personally, but
That video of him on stage being like, "Do you have your shot?" That's an all-time video, dude.
would you like to come,
Come
to America?
with Rob? That's, it's like, how the fuck was
Do
this
you
guy?
have your passport? Did you take your shots?
Like, we really didn't get those shots, guys. Like, that is wild, dude. Man.
They let him stay outside for way too
Yeah,
long.
he got away with that for a long time, dude. Yep.
I was lucky enough to go to Detroit, and I met the family of like the bodyguards of Aaliyah when she was first coming up, and it was like his one job was to keep her away from R. Kelly.
No way. Dude, that's so crazy.
He didn't do that good of a job, huh?
I think they hired new security. I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, man.
But hey, how's life as a podcaster?
Oh my God. I mean, right now it's the fucking best. Getting to talk to you guys, it rules.
Man.
You know?
That's what I was thinking. Like your commute, your marriage. Does the pod ever affect like the conversations you have affect the relationship?
Oh,
Because I'm like, yeah, I'm just starting for like my students are coming to be like, yo, you were talking about this, and I'm like, yeah, like don't watch any other of the old episodes.
dude.
Like,
yeah. No, luckily not. Luckily not too much. Yeah, rarely. Yeah, nothing too bad. And I mean, a lot of stuff because, you know, oftentimes our biggest clips will be me telling like a really embarrassing story. So I'll just, you know, say anything terrible like that's like I pooped my pants for the first time a couple months ago. I've never pooped my pants, you know, outside from since I was like 4 years old or whatever. But I pooped my pants for the first time in my adult life. So I had obviously told the story of it on our podcast and made a clip out of it, and like everybody saw it. And people at my wedding were like, dude,
like, oh shit.
like, there's a bathroom nearby. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. But you know,
Oh, you listen to one episode, dude.
Yeah.
Hold on, it was like a legit pooped your pants, or
No,
was it
it
like
wasn't.
a
This was why. This is why we
There's-
talk about it.
We don't need to get into it on here, but there's a big gray
We don't
area
wanna-
of what
we-
it
we
means
wanna
to
keep
like
things classy.
actually
We don't wanna
poop
What
your pants.
Clash your
episode?
pod.
So if my
Fuck, I have no idea. It was. I want to say it was a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure it
probably
was
a month
months.
ago.
okay.
Time-
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
time blurs. I would say that it happens to me a lot in weird scenarios. One, like my girlfriend's family will listen, like her dad specifically, or like he'll see our clips, like he follows us on Instagram and stuff like that. And then we'll have like I'll go over there for like dinner or something like that, and like the first thing that'll come out of his mouth is like not something at me, but something that I brought up on the podcast, like to try to be like to fuck with me a little bit. You know what I mean? Because like I don't say anything bad, but like I say it all the time. I'm not a stupid person, but I have some of the stupidest thoughts. You know what I mean? Like when we're on there, I will just say the shit that I think about that nobody else is willing to bring to the table. Like the cup, like a
Okay,
big
I
thing.
wouldn't phrase it like that. Nobody's willing to bring to the table,
bit-
dude.
yeah,
if
not
I
willing to-
had the thought, why can't dogs speak English? I would never tell that. To
So,
anybody.
but that's what I'm saying.
But it's not because
That's
people
you
aren't
not
willing. It's
willing.
not like a. It's
That's
not
you
like a
not willing.
taboo phrase. Like
That's
people
you
are
not
afraid
willing.
to talk about.
But that's
it
a big
in
one.
public.
Like like my girlfriend's dad thought like that was hysterical. Like that.
Yeah.
Or like when the wildfires were going on in Canada. Like, and again, this does not need to be discussion, Andy. So don't roll your eyes.
family-
at
is the
me.
family okay?
You're right. Oh yeah.
But my whole thing was like, my teeny little brain couldn't comprehend how the smoke was making it all the way here. Because like, if obviously it's at a larger scale, but you know, if whether you're having a bonfire or smoking a cigarette, like whatever it is, the smoke goes up, dude. Smoke goes up. I'm like, how is all this smoke on the ground? Smoke's supposed to go up. Like, I understand there's an atmosphere, but like,
No, though you don't. Though.
well, yeah. Like space is infinite, smoke should just be going up, and that was a big thing. And
Guys,
like,
we're gonna move all our smoke into space.
Yeah.
I think that's what Trump's gonna run on next year.
yeah,
We got to take all this
And-
smoke and move it into space.
and-
Space is gonna pay for
It's
our
gonna be
smoke
super
wall.
puffy. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna move it up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear Nell do a little Trump, honestly. That's why I had to toss it up.
the United States has no smoke. But
Uh,
I could, yeah, and her, my girlfriend's dad thought that was like the funniest, but also like dumbest thought that anybody's ever had. Like, dude, it's like a density thing. And I'm like, well, listen, this isn't science class, all right? I'm recording a podcast.
And you know, one of the other shows that we have that we produce, Scheming and Dreaming, they say things on there that like I never thought a human would like ever say. So when we compare ourselves to that, it's like, dude, I can talk about me pooping my pants all
our-
fucking
our
day
sh-
long.
yeah.
All right, give me an example of something that
Dude,
you said.
no.
What you
Honestly,
mean, no?
Our show is like our show would be like a Disney
them.
movie compared to like what they do on their show. Like they have.
Oh, I got a good one actually. So,
Okay, go ahead.
So my one of my best pals, Joey Hardball, aka Joey Icarus, aka Joey Heatcheck, aka Joey Bag of Ruffles. He works for Heatonist, which is the hot sauce company that you ever see the show Hot Ones?
Yeah.
They like supply the hot sauce for them, and they make all their
Okay.
own hot sauce. So this guy's got access to hot sauce, and so he was in town, and he gave me some, and I left it at the studio. And Jake and Ben from Scheming and Dreaming, they come in to record their show. And I'm like, okay, guys, have a good episode. I got to head back to Rochester. I'm driving back home, and I get a phone call from Emily, our producer. And she's like, Ben is in the bathroom. He just put hot sauce all over his balls, like on camera. And he's like freaking out. So, like, sometimes they'll do that.
Dude, what did I say? What did I say?
So
They-
I
I did not expect
It'll be
shit like that.
Dude, me neither. But
No.
it's a great show. That's why
Yeah.
you tune in, honestly. But yeah, he was in bad shape from that for a while.
Thank you.
But also these guys, I mean, they've been through so much. Like Ben's body could, I think, literally take anything,
I don't
any
know.
kind of damage. I think he's like 24 or something too. Yeah, he doesn't have long. But we gotta live. But, we
I'm
gotta
trying to
appreciate- we
imagine.
gotta
I'm just trying to
appreciate what he's
imagine,
doing,
like,
though.
Yo, why
what level of hot sauce was it? Like, you watched the show.
It was.
I'm
it was
assuming it wasn't the
hot.
hottest one. I hope not.
Oh no! It wasn't crazy. Well, especially the fellow who is in the office next door to us, Eddie. He makes hot sauce. That's like his business, and he's a psychopath, dude. Like
you think you
he
have to
grows
be
all his own
wild?
peppers.
You got to be kind of wild to just.
You really
grow
do,
your
man.
own hot
I
sauce.
didn't realize that until I started talking to this guy. But he he'll knock on the door sometimes and drop over just like a big brown paper bag of Carolina Reapers and stuff like that. He made this hot sauce, and I tried it. It's like, I don't know if it's on the
Dante's
Scoville.
Inferno?
It's Dante's Inferno. Honestly, it's Dante's Inferno. But the hot sauce that Ben put on his balls, I would say, was like hotter than the average person would want, but not like insane. But it was, it was fucking hot, dude. Like, it wasn't like Frank's or Tabasco. Like, it was definitely a couple steps up from
That's
that.
not even, like you said, that's not even a thought that will ever come to my mind.
No, I've
Let
never
me put
thought
hot
that.
sauce on my balls on the show.
I can't.
Period. Fuck the show.
Yeah.
Period.
Period. Off camera.
Right.
That's like you have to be a wild person to really want to like make your own hot sauce. 'Cause, like, you're touching peppers all day. Like
Yeah.
the second you touch your face or like you go to the bathroom, like
Dude,
you're
he's
going
a-
to regret living. Like
And he was a fascinating dude. He actually came on our show for an episode once and talked about it. So he is a beekeep too. So he keeps
Oh.
he has
He lives
like a
life on
plot
the
of
edge.
land.
Wow.
He has a plot of land and he keeps bees, and then he uses the bees to like cross pollinate different peppers, and he makes like his own strains of like the hottest peppers in the world, and like tries to make like the hottest peppers in the world on his own, like new like
got his own
peppers and
bees
shit like that.
That's
And when he came on, him and Ant, like he'll just like eat them because he tries them. So he'll just like pop one of these
He
things.
eats, like-
and it's it's like disgusting.
So
Him
many
and he's
days.
got a cutting board out. Him and Andy are like cutting up like the world's hottest peppers, and Andy's trying them, and they're making fun of me. I'm like, dude, there's not a chance in hell I'm trying that. Like, I got to go home, go to sleep, and wake up and go to work tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to be blowing up my employee bathroom for 8 hours tomorrow because I decided to eat 10 of the world's hottest peppers at 9 o'clock at night and wasn't happening.
And Eddie did get me into it for a little bit because it was fun trying some of that hot stuff he had over there. What I will say is when we were having him on, because like I said, his office is right next to ours. Before it was time to record, he knocked on the door and he brought over like a bunch of jalapenos and bread and stuff. And he was like, eat this stuff now to like prep your stomach for what's coming. Yeah. And then he's like, so we eat the peppers, and they're, I mean, Carolina Reaper is the hottest pepper in the world. They're so fucking hot.
Yeah.
And he's like, but it lasts for like 15 minutes tops, right? Is when you're like sweating. And then he's like, the real trouble is what you're going to run into in like an hour and a half. And I'm like, excuse me? You didn't tell me that. So I feel okay. And I start driving home, and it is like I have a hot ball bearing in my intestines, and I can fucking feel it moving as I'm driving on the highway. And I'm like, dude, if this lasts another couple minutes, I'm going to have to pull over because it was so painful. And like it was, you know,
That-
probably 90 minutes after I had one of the peppers, and it just, you feel it moving through you.
Nah, the
It's a
worst-
true disaster.
What I always think about is like I can take the hot like when I'm eating it like okay that's 5 minutes or so is when I have to go to the bathroom later.
Get you on the back end. Boy. Get you on the back end, maybe. It's not the best.
No.
So you said you produce shows. What other shows do you produce? You named the one.
Yep, we got Scheming and Dreaming.
We got Scheme Dreaming, and then we got Quested.
Quested, which
Quested
is,
is
Dungeons
an
and
awesome
Dragons
show.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. It's 4 guys.
Yeah. Four
Yeah,
fellas.
and they,
they
you know-
do a lot of like rotating casts though
Yeah.
on that show, which keeps it fun. But they're like actually like playing a game of D&D like on their podcast and stuff, which is pretty popular format and people like, and they're really funny guys. Especially for like, you know, it's a specific kind of person who's usually like attracted to Dungeons and Dragons, you know what I mean? And their humor's like so perfect for that, and it like blends just enough into like this kind of obscure angle of comedy that is like very, very fun to watch. And then we just started the Patreon, so we've got just one other show running up there right now called Captions On, which is Faz from Schemin' and Dreamin' and myself and our producer Emily is talent on that show. And we're going through all of the like Disney Channel original movies. We're like watching them and like talking about them. And I don't know if you guys remember those, but some of them are fucking impossible to watch, and no one should see them.
The first one that came to my mind is Luck of the Irish.
Everybody,
I don't know why.
everybody knows Luck of
Dude.
the Irish, and that one,
Banger.
absolutely, that one.
Nah, yeah, I
that's
love
one
that
of the
joke
good
when I
ones.
was younger.
Luck of the Irish is good. There's so many that are just terrible, and that's sometimes that podcast is really hard to get through, but it's still a lot of fun. We have a really good time.
Dope. I could never get into Disney when growing up. Like it was just so far away from reality that I could never. I was like, give me the cartoon because like I don't believe that this is a fucking family. Like it was just that hard. It was difficult for me.
I like Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch The Proud Family either?
That was the only one I would watch, but even then, it was like I had to turn the channel too many times. I'm not
Dude,
keep
Proud
turning the channel.
Family, loved it. I got in big trouble because of the Proud Family one time. I was downstairs watching it, and it was a Wednesday, and I know it was a Wednesday because Wednesdays were the nights when one Wednesday a month my mom would like go out with her friends, so our dad would have to like do dinner or something for us, and usually we'd go to the Pizza Hut buffet.
Mhm.
So I was watching the Proud Family downstairs, and what's that one guy's name? Or they were like planning something on the show, and so all the characters were like, "Yeah, we're down. Let's do this." And so my dad's like, "Andrew, come upstairs." So I walk up there. He's like, "You want to go to Pizza Hut buffet tonight?" And I'm like, "I'm down." And dude, he turns around and points his finger in my face. He's like, "Don't you ever talk slang to me again."
Oh shit!
Now he's relaxed so much more than that now, but like back then I was like, Jesus Christ. I turned around, might have shed a tear or two, all right, but that's just the nature of the beast.
His go-to line, he used to say to us all the time. His line was, "I'm not your friend on the playground." Like he
Always.
was like, "Don't talk to me.
Don't
like a
get too
friend."
comfortable. Don't get too
They
comfortable.
had
Be on your
like
toes.
that.
Yeah.
Black
My
families.
mom, I'm not your little
I'm
friend.
not one of your little
Yeah.
friends.
Yep. Goddamn. Go-to parent line.
Yeah, you missed out on Disney Channel, bro.
Yeah, dude. I was a big
Even
Disney.
Stevens, That's So Raven.
I was
I
a big-
missed
was
all the
funny.
Super Bowl
Oh yeah,
So
that's-
Raven was
I,
sick.
I was a big Disney Channel guy.
That's So Raven was corny. Like
Lilo and Stitch.
Dude, I was a
Dude,
big Stitch
that
guy.
show got
Stitch was
slept
fun.
on because that
Stitch was
show was
cool.
not half bad.
Stitch was
I still,
cool.
I still fuck with Stitch. Like I like that movie still.
He's valid.
I'm a big Stitch guy.
I rock with him. Like the family are like, oh, man. I don't put some
So
respect
what,
on it.
were
I
you
feel
like,
I felt like Stitch was like the little black kid that everybody's like, ew, give me. And then the girl's like, oh, he's so cute though.
Oh yeah, Stitch is definitely an allegory for race. I've always said that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years.
In the black families on Disney, I could not relate to him.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, this is not real. Like who talks like this?
I mean, as a kid, I'm not really trying to relate. I'm trying to escape my reality.
big escape, dude. That's the difference. Disney
Show me-
Channel was big
Yeah.
escapism. Like they're
show me
like
the
they're all.
cartoons.
It was so zany. We actually had the guy who was the production designer for all those shows, Jerry Dunn. Shout out to him. He works on the Connors on ABC right now. But he Yeah, he did the production design for that. So Raven, all the Sweet
Hannah
Life things.
Montana. Yeah, Sweet Life on deck. Yeah.
Bro, you didn't even watch Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
See, now that show
was that shit.
But I will say that show was the most unrealistic TV show of all time.
But
that
everybody
was what was
wanted
so cool about
it's like
it.
you could live in a hotel.
Live in a hotel, yeah.
Tipton, baby. That place was
And his
nice.
mom was just singing up a storm.
Yeah, that's
their
so
mom.
crazy.
I
Bro,
guess.
so who were you watching? Boys in the Hood at 5 years old?
I was watching Cartoon Network. I was watching Richie do zigzags. He should have done zigzags.
Right.
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. I was big on
Sure.
Nickelodeon.
What Cartoon Network and Nick shows did you watch?
Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Sure.
Ed, Edd and Eddie.
Yeah.
Kids Next Door?
That's what I
Kids
was.
Next
That's
Door.
what I was. That's what I was
Here and
hoping.
there.
I didn't want to bring it up. But I was
Fucking
hoping
Arnold,
somebody
fucking
said.
Hey Arnold.
Yeah, Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold,
That
yeah.
show
Next Door
fucking
good.
so
Jimmy
good.
Neutron.
Yeah, Jimmy
There was
Neutron's
something
solid
about
for
Courage
sure.
the Cowardly Dog that didn't sit right
Dude,
with me
too
as a
scary,
child.
too
I
scary.
think it was like very adult animation for like a kid show.
I
That's how
like
I
that.
always
That's one of
felt.
those things. Like I feel, I never
Well, I
watched
feel
it,
now, but it,
like
like,
that.
freaked me out.
That Rock, or like Rock was Modern Life or something.
Mhm.
I feel like
That
people have
was so
said
crazy.
that a lot. Like it was very, because for Nick, I think especially, I watched another documentary about Nickelodeon. Very, very good. Actually, it was okay, but it's still worth a watch.
Was it on Hulu?
No, I can't.
I seen one on Hulu.
Maybe it was on Hulu. It was called like the Orange Years or something. So that might have.
When they were making like the movies that were orange.
No,
Or
it was
like,
just about like the
Nickelodeon-based?
start.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? Like
the
the
orange-
Rugrats.
Yeah, the orange
Yeah, the
tapes.
orange,
Yeah.
the orange test tapes.
The orange tape.
Dude, there's a mall in New Jersey. It's like one of those like Mall of America type deals. It's like massive. It's like 5 floors. And in it, they have like 2 like amusement parks. They have a water park that is DreamWorks themed. So it's all like DreamWorks movies. And then they have a theme park, like an amusement park with roller coasters and everything indoors that is all Nickelodeon themed.
That's
And
funny.
I was like there and I took a lap around like the theme park because you can go in without having a ticket. You have to like get tickets for rides though, kind of carnival style. And dude, it was unreal. Like the rides that they had and shit in there. Like it was so many throwbacks. It was cool.
Yeah, it was trending on like Facebook. It was like Kablam and all the people. Remember that video, that cartoon, Kablam?
It sounds familiar.
Was that a Nick show?
Yeah.
It sounds like a Nick
It
show.
had the big diesel guy who was stupid. They had the melted guy. Action Heroes Now or some shit like that. Yeah, like bro, that was one of the. It was like super stupid, but it was just like. It was fucking action figures, and it was like almost like I forgot.
Oh man.
No, yeah, I do. I
That
remember what
shit.
you're talking about. I remember.
It's
yeah,
on.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like right on the edge of my brain. I
Yeah,
feel like I know
I
what you're
wish I
talking
could
I
about.
do
Yeah.
remember that joint.
Yeah, but say, Courage the Cowardly Dog like showed me how to face my fears though. Like it was definitely a scary ass show,
Yeah.
but it was like okay, like I can keep watching this.
Yeah, me as a child, I was running from them.
Oh yeah,
but-
still running.
Yo,
Still
the-
running on
I think it
empty.
was the episode where it was like Return the Plaque. That shit-
Yo, that's hilarious because y'all don't know, but Jovan,
Uh-huh.
he's scared of that shit.
bro, it was legit scary. Like you're afraid to go to sleep.
Yo, that's funny as hell. I never.
Kimon, goddamn
Yeah,
it, dude,
yeah.
you're doing your job so
Was
well
it
over
wrong?
there.
I know. I'm going.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah,
to hell
yeah,
now. Get
yep,
that shit
yep.
out of the way.
I remember.
Yeah, it kept. Let me see. I feel like I remember it too. Nah, but I honestly, you want to know what scarred me as a child?
I don't think
I do remember that.
Actually.
Mm-hmm.
What scarred me as a child was the movie The Lord of the Rings.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I was probably like 4 years old.
We watched that too young because
And
our
again,
dad's a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh, shit, what was that? Back to our father. Yeah, I was like 4 years old, and he was like, "You got to watch this movie. Like this is the foundation of life right here."
Yeah.
And he showed me Lord of the Rings, and like for weeks, you know Lord of the Rings, like you ever seen it,
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
seen it.
dude?
You never seen
But
Lord
you
of the
know
Rings?
Gollum. That's
Bro,
what
Yeah,
you
but
know.
you know
yeah.
Gollum, like the my precious,
yeah,
like that freaky little
Smeagol?
fucker.
Yeah, Smeagol.
Smeagol. Yeah, dude, see,
Smeagol?
knows the
Well,
lore.
let's call him by his
Yeah,
Christian
knows
name,
the
man.
lore.
You're gonna bring him up.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. For weeks and weeks on end, I saw that motherfucker crawling around like the corners of my bedroom. Like I would stare there. I would lay there at night, and I'd be like, "This dude is in here. I have to sit completely still because he will murder me."
Yeah, I didn't
That
get
was
over.
my favorite. That was one of my favorite characters out of there.
No, I mean they're unbelievable movies to watch now.
And
But
Andy Serkis is so
as a
fucking
4-year-old,
good as that. But
PSA to anybody that has a child: do not show them the Lord of the Rings at the age of 4. It will mess them up for
this is
life.
what you get. This is what you get. When
Yeah.
you
Or Saw. I seen Saw at like 6 years old.
I can't even imagine.
See,
that.
I was scared
Oh
of
my
Jigsaw
God.
until I think he was in Scary Movie 4. And then once I seen him
Yeah.
like in that fun atmosphere, I was like, all right, he's cool.
See,
But I was scared of Jigsaw for like 10 years.
I love scary movies, like horror movies, stuff like that. We were talking about it on the show the other day because, with it being almost October, like I love Halloween. I love scary shit. I love Fright World. Like I said,
I hate it.
dude, Fright World to me is like the epitome of like good old fashioned fun, dude. I think it's like something about being scared shitless. And I was saying this because there's a lot of people that are like, dude, Fright World's for kids. Like I know it's not real. I'm the toughest guy in the world. And I'm like, nah, I like going in there and being scared shitless. Like I think it's so fun to go
Why
in
would
there
I
and be
pay
scared.
for that? Like, why am I going to pay
Dude,
to
it's like
feel fucking terror?
I'm not
to feel alive.
I'm not at all an adrenaline junkie. Like I say all the time, like I don't like going fast. Like I don't like doing shit like that. But I love getting scared like that. Like I love that like heart racing feeling. That's my version, I guess, of chasing adrenaline. I love sitting there and just watching scary movies, like
Turning all the lights
in the
out.
dark. Yeah, like by myself, just sitting there watching scary movies.
Nah, I can do it. I can do it now. Like I still watch scary movies. I think the last scary movie I watched was Russell Crowe. And he was a exorcist, and then like the Pope. I think it's like the Pope's exorcism.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a new
yeah.
one.
yeah. Nah, I actually liked it. Like it wasn't
See, I-
super scary, but I liked it.
I have a problem with like newer scary movies. I feel like they're not as good as they used to be. I don't know. I almost think that
They're too predictable.
and making it
a lot
look
of times.
So like when you're talking about like how movies look now compared to how they used to look, like making it look so good, I feel like makes it worse. What I will say is like, you want to know what I like is to show Stranger Things.
Fire.
Like so good, and not that it's like scary, but like the most recent season with like Vecna and that haunted house and shit, like that shit is cool to me. Like I like that, and it's not scary, but it's like a little bit freaky.
It's like it's like a horror element,
Yeah,
but it's not quite as like jarring, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good tune.
nail it.
Top of the
Facts.
charts.
All right. So we have a thing now where we have a third eye segment.
All right,
Third eye segment.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we got to do top 5 first. Top 5.
You
Then
have a top
we
five?
close with third eye.
This,
top five?
this
Yeah,
is
I thought
what
it went while we
came
were there.
here for.
So
Okay.
we were talking about movies a lot earlier. We were literally just talking about movies.
Yep.
Top 5 favorite movies.
What a difficult question. What a very difficult question.
I can give you.
I feel like you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm not. As I was saying that, I was like, "Fuck, I'm doing that thing again where I sound like an asshole." But that's just my voice.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I would say probably not in a specific order,
Yeah.
but I would say Good Will Hunting. I would say Jaws. I would say Law Abiding Citizen.
Great movie.
I would say that's 3. Now it's when
Yeah,
it
you
gets
can
tough.
get 3 easy, but the last 2 are.
I don't know. I love The Dark Knight. I would probably put The Dark Knight in there.
That's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
solid. That's super
And
solid.
then I got one more spot. I don't know. Honestly, pander pick by my part, but probably National Treasure. Like I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Nick
but-
Cage.
Way to stay on brand.
Yeah, but I would say like I would say close. Like my honorable mentions would probably be like The Departed,
Oh,
Dead Poet Society. I've always like that. That movie's
that.
good.
Yeah.
Probably more like famous than good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Django. I love Django.
Oh, I'm
Django's
putting
a
that.
great
I'm
movie.
taking
Django's
that.
probably up
I'm gonna
there.
steal a couple.
All right,
of
all right.
yours.
I'll let you go.
And then I'll go.
Well, no, you gotta start from.
I'm
You
gonna
got
steal 2 of yours
Okay.
actually. Lawrence of Arabia. That's my that one is
That's
number
your
one
top-
for
that's
me.
your number one.
dude. I don't.
2001: Space Odyssey.
It's a great movie.
Citizen Kane, just because top notch classic. I got to put Jaws on there as well, and then Django just beats out the Barbie movie. I got Barbie hanging
The new
on
Barbie.
her
Dude.
spot. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Did you see Barbie or Oppenheimer? Did you see either?
I
of
saw
them?
I seen
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Dude, I saw them both, and I thought they were both good. I thought Oppenheimer was really, really good. Like, I thought it was. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was really good because talking about like when I was talking about horror movies, like being like in a movie and you're like you feel your heart racing. Like, dude, the anxiety that you feel in those situations where like the camera's shaking and it's like hyper focused on him, like you can see his pupils like dilated and like the music in the background, like, dude, it was so like
It was shot extremely well.
Hell
yeah.
And
It's like a heavy watch. Like it's
Yeah.
it's long 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours.
yeah.
I can't.
All right,
I
let's-
can't remember how I felt when I watched Oppenheimer. I just remember it was just like, this what everybody's talking about. And
Yeah,
I
a lot
think-
of people felt like that.
Yeah, and it was like trying to zone in on this dude who created this fucking terrible weapon of mass destruction, and it's like you almost wanted to feel empathy for him, but it's like me being a math person, like I've met some quote unquote smart people. I've met people who are like super geniuses, but like with mathematics, but socially, like when you're getting up, you crawl under the table. And it was just like, yo, you're that detached from reality that I could see you making a nuclear bomb or a fucking robot that will kill humanity because you're so detached from social normacy.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, so when I don't have that much empathy for an Oppenheimer
Yeah.
in those situations.
Yeah, it's pretty,
and it's
pretty
I,
hard.
and I think almost it's not even like, because I bet you there are people that do, but I feel like it's almost more like people probably have that mental dilemma after watching it. Like it's like an age-old question. You know what I mean? Like at what point do you go too far? Especially when they like, you know, at first when they're like, yeah, there's a chance that like it ignites the atmosphere and we just end the world.
Literally,
And
like
they're
everything.
yeah, let's
sets on
just
fire.
keep trying it.
So crazy.
But
Let's-
yeah, just
what
keep
about
going.
what about your guys' top 5 though?
Okay.
And these are just personal favorites.
Obviously.
One
Yeah.
is Smoking Aces. Just a great story of you should mind your own business and everybody won't die.
Yeah.
I never seen that.
It's like
Never heard of it.
assassins. It's like
Put it on my list.
yeah, it's assassins. They're trying to kill. They doing a hit on somebody who's like snitching on the mob, and then everybody, like every famous assassin, is coming to kill this guy. And in reality, it's like you were eavesdropping on a call, and it's like he didn't want to kill him. He needs a heart transplant. When you thought it was some Cosa Nostra thing, he wants
Hold
his
on,
heart.
man. We said we want to see the movie.
Oh yeah, whatever. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Usual Suspects is up there.
Benicio del Toro.
I hate saying Fight Club because it's almost.
That counts.
Fight Club I liked. I hate the end of that movie though. Couldn't stand it.
Yeah, I just like the process of him like realizing like, hold on, who is this guy? Let me think. The Matrix is on there, and let me think of one more. Don't Be a Menace while drinking your juice in the hood.
Nice.
That's a good one. Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee.
Of course.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Holy
Tarantino
fuck,
action.
Beatrice.
Inception.
Inception.
Beaches?
Beatrice Tito.
Oh,
Inception. Logan.
I never saw
Wolverine.
that
Logan.
movie.
Oh, the Wolverine.
Yeah,
joint.
Wolverine
Yeah.
is like
That's
my,
a good. That's a.
he's
solid
like my
joint.
favorite fictional character ever almost.
are you a comic book guy, Dante? Okay.
I like superhero movies though.
Yeah. And Hugh Jackman.
Um,
it's gonna be fun to see him back though. That
That'd be
guy's
fun. It's
good.
gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm. Say the fifth. You Got Served.
Really?
Yep. I liked it.
The
It's
Little Saint.
The Little Saint. The acting. The acting isn't the best, but I watched that shit all the time when I was younger.
Steve Harvey. Y'all boys is selling dope.
Oh, that's what that's from?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It had B2K in it, Little Kim. It had a whole bunch of like star cameos.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Good movie.
Nah, that's a hood classic.
Baggy clothes era.
Shout out to ATL. ATL in there somewhere too. That's a hood classic. Jumping into the next one.
Third Eye.
Yeah, so we jump into the next, the Third Eye segment where it's like we talk about anything like spiritual or conspiracy theory esque.
Bang.
So, but this one's valid. So, like one of my favorite movies is The Matrix, and it's like people say like The Matrix is like a simulation, like you live inside of a simulation.
Yep.
There's a guy named James Gates, black quantum physicist, theorist, and he found these patterns in string theory, and he studied the patterns, and they turned out to be computer code. They're similar to computer code in the universe.
I saw something about that.
I think you were
Yeah,
talking about it.
Like
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson was interviewing him at the same time, and
Yeah.
he's like, but the guy is basically like, our universe is built the same way that computer code is, so it's safe to say that you could say that we live in a simulation.
Sure.
Have you guys ever, like, what do you guys think? Do you think we stay in a simulation?
I don't know, dude. I mean,
Just threw it at him like
I'll go. I got a few takes.
I think, I mean, there's so many patterns in nature, you know what I mean? And I think for the majority of human history, subconsciously perhaps, we've been replicating those patterns because it's just the natural world that we've come from. So, of course, to try and consciously make sense of it, we would use the tools that it gives us to do that. So it doesn't make me immediately think like, for sure, simulation. It kind of doesn't surprise me at all.
I agree with that. I was thinking the same thing. Like, to me, it makes sense that is like how and I've tried to watch videos on like string theory and stuff like that, and like, dude, that shit's way outside of my brain. Like, I can't even begin to attempt to figure out how that shit works. But it makes sense to me that the basis of our universe would be the same way that like maybe like computers are run, right? Because I don't know, there's a lot of smart people out there, and whether we knew that at the time or not, like, let's say, you know, the universe as a whole is based off of, you know, these zeros and ones or whatever we'll call it, right? And then that's kind of becomes the way that we live, like Andrew was saying, subconsciously or inherently, because like that's how things around us are working. So, okay, now we're going to design these machines. How are we going to do it? We're going to use the same general principles that are happening around us all the time.
You know, is hydrogen and nitrogen not the ones and zeros of the universe? Fucking clip that shit, brother.
That was horrible to listen to. I hated that. I hated every second of that.
Put that on.
Nah, but on the simulation point, I was having this debate with somebody the other day. Like, I don't, and this is kind of getting away from simulation, but I guess more into like alternate realities, alternate universes.
Multiverse.
I don't believe that there's another version of me that like made one different decision, or I should say infinite versions of me that have made different decisions that have led them to like not be sitting on this couch having this podcast right now or something like that.
I do.
I'll argue with that. I can argue that.
You
So in the sense of, I know you as Matt the podcaster. There's a Matt the lover. There's a Matt the fighter.
Okay,
There's a
starting with
Matt
lover.
the-
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
subpar, but
There's parts of you that I'll never see, but that part of you still
Well,
exists.
you play your cards right. You never know. Okay, there might be a little, I don't want to give them away. There's a
Yeah.
little magic in the air.
I understand that, but we're still living. Okay, so think about it like Doctor Strange style, right? Like when the Avengers, when in Infinity War, when the Hulk, it's Endgame, when Hulk goes back and he tries to get the stone, and Strange isn't the Sorcerer Supreme yet, and she shoots out that timeline, and she looks at like how you got there, like. That's true. Like, there's versions of me, we'll say, that you don't know, but those versions are still living in the same timeline. So to me, like, as long as we're in the same timeline, it's not really a parallel universe.
Those are really just just
It's just
more traits that kind of encompass the whole.
because like a parallel universe to me would be like, you ever watch the show Community?
They
Dude.
They have a great episode.
Or like, yeah, exactly. Donald
Yep.
Glover's in it. He's hysterical. But there's an episode of that, but they've done it in a million different sitcoms and every movie ever where there's like a bad version of yourself, right? Where there's a universe where you're a bad guy and you wear like all black and you like slap the ice cream out of like children's hands and kick dogs and shit like that. Like, I don't think that there's, other versions of that out there. Now, I do think that there's other, like, not Earth exactly, but like something that
Something close.
very closely resembles Earth, where there's humans very much like us, and they might not speak the same language, but I don't think there's another version of me on it. It's like Rick and Morty. I don't think there's like a planet where there's 1,000 Canadas like out there.
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
You've heard of Mandela effect?
Yes.
So it's like I'm looking at it like that, where it's like I think it's like those worlds can blend, and like certain decisions will like split it off.
Yeah.
And so it's like I definitely think.
Dude, that's the thing.
That's
about,
exactly
like,
what
parallel
happens.
universes being created by decisions potentially is like, if you're Matthew Prime, which is like the Matthew that every other alternate timeline is like being based off of, and you have like, a simple decision, right? Like picking up this microphone. So in one timeline, you don't pick it up. That sets your Matthew on a different path. In this timeline, you do pick it up and you're on a different path. However, let's say after this, we decide we want to go get a bite to eat. The Matthew that picked up the microphone may still get a McDonald's cheeseburger, the same as the Matthew who didn't pick up the microphone might get the same cheeseburger, right? So you'll intersect the different paths.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's what I think dark matter is. I think it's a weird connective tissue between different universes.
I like that theory.
That's my.
What I also don't think is the case is like Men in Black style, where there's like a cat walking around that's got a collar
Galaxy on his
on.
neck?
That's
Oh,
got
well,
like
that's-
a galaxy in his neck.
Oh, you got to eat some mushrooms, buddy.
Yeah, I mean that's.
You'll have a universe on a
But
blade
like,
of grass.
think about
You're
it. Like,
looking at
okay,
it
but if you were to say like, oh, it's ones and zeros, like we could be living in a simulation. Like to me, part of that would be like, there's somebody out there on actual Earth that developed a computer program to see how. Like, okay, let's use AI for example. Like they used AI to generate a program that would simulate an entire life cycle of Earth to see how humans interact and to see, maybe to try to predict when the world's going to end, right? And the AI, like as that started off, like going all the way back, we'll even say to like cavemen, like the AI wasn't super smart, so the people in the simulation weren't really like developing. But then as AI got smarter and smarter and smarter, all of a sudden civilization begins to grow and people get smarter. And then each person in this simulation has a personality, and that's what we're living. I do not think that's what we're living.
But what if
That's a
what if
sick
we're
movie idea though?
That's
that was
crazy.
cool.
What if we created the simulation so we could watch the development of artificial intelligence to see where we went wrong, because now it's trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Well,
All
they
that
just have
stuff
to. They
sounds
just have to
awesome.
watch the Terminator. That's all they would have to do there.
Sophia Stewart wrote the
Skynet.
damn thing.
Dang.
Are you familiar with like the Terminator and the Matrix supposed to be the same, come from the same?
I've seen like some videos about like how they show up in one spot naked or something like that. Like, have you ever seen that? Like, there's like a theory about how they're connected.
They literally came from the same comic book.
Oh,
It's
did
called
they?
The Third Eye.
Oh, really?
There we go. Third
Literally.
eye segment. That's
Wait.
That's
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Winklevoss twins stole, like they lost the lawsuit and everything. But like Terminator and the Matrix are supposed to be the same thing. Terminator is Neo before like everything like went to shit.
Oh.
Zion is like they started to war with the machines, and they had to go underground. And it's
I've never heard that before.
John Connor is JC, is supposed to be symbolic of like Jesus
Christ, obviously.
And Neo is kind of like the savior of
Dude.
the Matrix.
I've never seen a more Jesus character than Neo, perhaps. Except Lawrence and Lawrence of Arabia, honestly.
dude.
Gotta bring it
That's.
up.
I do have to just throw that out there. Lawrence of Arabia.
Top-notch movie, phenomenal.
Watch it at your
soundtrack.
own. Watch it
out,
at your
dude.
own risk.
Who's
It's
the,
from.
who's the
one of those,
director?
like-
Who's the director?
David Lean.
It's from.
It's one of
What
those,
year did
like,
it come out?
old
1913,
64.
1375.
Or 62. It's one of those like
1962.
old Hollywood epics, kind of, but it's like it's not like Spartacus or I suppose it's the next evolution of like a Spartacus or like 10 Commandments, like those big Hollywood like epic movies. But this is like when that's done correctly, kind of. And Freddie Young, director of photography on that, incredible job, because it takes place in the desert, and I mean, the way that this guy shoots these wide shots, it's incredible and emotional. They're the same team. They did another movie called Dr. Zhivago, which stars a guy named Omar Sharif, who is in Lawrence of Arabia and is sick in that movie. But they're different movies, but they're kind of similar, because that Dr. Zhivago, which is not as good and is pretty boring, takes place in like a Russian like snow, Arctic desert or whatever.
I gotta watch that
Yeah,
too.
we appreciate that.
I know. I'm trying to get. It's Lawrence of Arabia is so good.
One of my favorite YouTube videos of all time is the guy from Unforgivable. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
But he yells at he yells at like the camera like in these black and white dark woods. It's like one of the OG like YouTube videos. But he talks about he talks about his girlfriend. He goes to arcade and he's like, bitch, you better not touch no games. Like, you got brothers? You made a mistake. Like, and he talks about movies. He's like, Dr. Zhivago, Legend of Bagger Vance. And that's the only thing I can think of. He say that's the only time I ever heard Dr. Zhivago. Yeah. But man, nonetheless. But like who's probably like your favorite like director? For me, it's Scorsese.
Dude,
He just
you gotta love him. He's so good. But again, like just this week, he's like just talking about how it's the end of the movie industry and all this stuff. And
AI, man.
dude, he's out of touch. Him saying that stuff, and I feel it's mostly been him, but also James Cameron, just like talking about how.
Yeah, but James Cameron at least discovered Atlanta.
When you say him, you're referring to Scorsese?
Scorsese and James Cameron. I'm lumping them in for this because they are the guys who I've seen being so outspoken about how the movie industry is like dying and how like every movie is like shit these days and stuff. And like,
A lot of it is.
it's not like they don't have a complete point, but like when I hear that, I'm like, these are old guys who are out of their prime, It's not their industry anymore necessarily as much as they are royalty in it.
Mm-hmm.
It happens in every industry and every craft. It happens in basketball, happens in music,
It happens
football.
in society.
Yeah,
It always happens in
sports.
society.
Yeah.
Like people talking about, even now kids being on cell phones so much. And I got a little bit of that shit in me too. Like it might be bad for kids looking at these screens so much, But at the end of the day, like they are growing up with it, so their relationship to it is going to be so different.
They're growing up in a different world and time period than
Like,
we were. Yeah,
it's whatever.
I really do.
They are going to. I really think that.
Yeah, that's why we're running the simulation.
That's why we're running the simulation. See,
See, this is like a
this
simulated
is what's going
conversation.
on.
Like,
is it?
Yeah.
What you're gonna say next?
What if? All right.
staring
Yeah.
this deadpan into the camera, like.
What if it is, and there is like, what the fuck's that movie? Oh, Tron. You ever seen the movie Tron?
The newer one?
Yeah.
I've seen it, but if you
So it's like the guy's dad is
Stuck in the game.
a video game developer. Like he owned an arcade and he was like a game developer and he was trying to create like the ultimate like VR game and then he like died or disappeared. They didn't know what happened to him. You end up finding out that he got stuck in the game. So what if that was the simulation and there's one person here that does know it and they're just like, dude, I'm just chilling. Like it doesn't matter.
That sounds like the movie The 13th Level or the 13th Floor.
Or Spy Kids 3D.
Game over.
Come on. They put it in the movies to tell us. That's all I'm saying.
So he said his favorite director. Who's yours?
I don't know. I really don't. Like, I'm not like I love movies and I watch a lot of movies, but I'm not like as in tune probably with like who directs all of them and stuff like that. I mean, obviously like the big ones I know and like I've seen all the Tarantino movies and stuff like that, but I don't think that I could say like, oh, this director's coming out with because I'm not going to say, I wouldn't say this director's coming out with a movie. I have to see it because I would say that, but I wouldn't be able to say like, this is my favorite director and this is why, because I don't have a reason.
I get that.
Yeah. I don't know though. But like, again, like it goes back to kind of what I was saying at the beginning. Like there's a lot of things that like, like for music, for example, like there's a lot of people that are passionate about music. Like I like to listen to music, but I'm like I used to have roommates that like Thursday nights were their favorite night because like new albums would
Everything
come out at
drops,
midnight.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they'd stay up till 4 a.m, like blasting music in our house, like listening to the new drops, like song by song. And I'm just like, dude, I'm going to bed. Like it's not that I don't like it, but like I'll listen to it. It's not like something that I ever like because stuff like that I would want to do, but it's not ever something that was like the number one thing on my list that I was gonna do something else instead of it.
your
Movies is
driving
kind of the same
factor.
way as that, right? Like I love watching movies the same way I like to listen to music, and I'll watch a ton of movies, but I'm never like dude, when we were little, and we used to watch a movie and Andy would like sit there and read the credits and like see who was in the movie and see who directed the movie and stuff like
These
that.
guys worked hard.
And
You
me,
gotta give
I'm
them
like,
respect.
I'm like,
Like you
change the
guys.
fucking channel. Like, let's go. Next movie. Keep pumping content down my
I
throat.
watch
don't-
Rugrats. I want to watch Rugrats in Paris.
Yeah. So,
Which is a good sequel. Very good
What
sequel.
was your
yeah. Who's yours?
Probably Spike Lee and Tarantino. I like Christopher Nolan a lot too.
Yeah. See, the reason that I like Christopher Nolan directed. No, who were you just talking about?
We were talking about
Scorsese.
Scorsese and James
And
Cameron.
James Cameron. That's who directed Avatar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm changing my pick, and it's to James Cameron because there's a.
You never pick anybody.
Dude, yeah.
he's changing
I'm changing from no pick to a pick because there's a documentary on Disney Plus because they own Discovery, the Discovery Channel. And there's a documentary about finding Atlantis, and like James Cameron pretty much contributes to helping this guy who is legitimately convinced and has me convinced that he found Atlantis. Great documentary if you get the chance to watch it.
Lastly,
Yours?
Oh yeah,
I
yours.
said
He said
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
you did.
yeah.
You did. You did.
Can you guys speak on the difficulty of consistently potting or creating content?
Dude, I'll tell you
so
what.
fucking hard. I think.
It's like, again, Matthew's schedule is so much more busy than mine is. Having him like be a partner in this has made it so easy to stay consistent, honestly.
That's dope.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like whenever we've started like new shows and stuff like that we do, and even when we have other people on that have podcasts, like I feel like we probably had this conversation with you guys. Like it's so important to just put stuff out. Like if people can get used to, okay, I like our shows come out on Thursdays. If people can get used to, I know Thursday morning when I wake up, like I'm getting ready for work or I'm cooking breakfast, whatever it is, I know I'm gonna have a new episode of something to throw or of this specific show to throw on. I know that every Thursday that's gonna happen. That then you start to build like that loyal fan base, right? Like a consumer who is like specifically geared towards like what you're putting out,
Okay.
and it gets to the point where it doesn't matter what you're, it doesn't matter who we're having on, right? Like the same with you guys. Like I feel like, you know, like we're probably not your usual guest, but like people that love your guys' show, I hope will appreciate us being on here and coming on and like hanging out with you guys. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing for us. Like there's actually only one interview that we never had, and we tried to work it out and it just never worked. And like we even tried to kind of change our show in order to do it. And I still think it would have been really, really cool. But it never happened, and it probably was, maybe it was for the best that it never worked out, right? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't
We'll talk-
remember.
Yeah. It was like a blockchain professor.
Yeah,
was going to
okay,
come
that
on
is
and
what I
talk
thought you were
about like
talking
in
about.
depth, like she PhD and like all this stuff, and was,
Yeah, it was
It
tough.
was going
I
to come
read her
on and
book.
like
It was
talk
pretty
about it. And we
cool.
were trying to figure out how to schedule it, and we were trying to figure out, okay, like, you know, we do like some stupid shit on our show. We say a lot of stupid things. Like, how are we going to put together a full conversation with this person who is so intelligent and wants to talk about this? And we want to hear him talk about it. But at the same time, while they're talking about it, I probably am going to express like how little sense this makes to me.
But
'Cause that's my-
sometimes, the other
Sometimes
thing,
that's
like,
necessary,
Sometimes
though.
that's the
Mhm.
show,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
it's like because so many consumers they are in the same boat, and it's like, no, I want to know, but like,
Yeah.
tell me what's the possibilities of this.
yeah.
And I feel like we've set ourselves up for like if we did want to have someone like her on again. I mean,
Yeah,
For
we
sure.
definitely could. And I, yeah, I don't know. But that,
No, that's real shit.
And when did you start your podcast? Like, when was the first episode released?
I think it was April or March,
March
of 2020.
20. It was literally like COVID shut down. I moved back in with our parents because I was still in school at the time. Andrew was in Rochester. We're like, hey, he's like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Like, they texted me. I was like, yeah, obviously.
Like,
Oh,
do you
yeah,
want
I think-
to
I think I
call
said
it
that
too
when we
cool?
came
And I was
in.
like, yeah, let's do
And
that.
and then one day we just hopped on a Discord or a Zoom
Yeah, we had
call.
used
Like, we
the
tried a
Discord
bunch of
thing
different things.
Stuff.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, obviously, like shit has happened to us that has made it a lot more difficult to record some weeks than others. But we're both very dedicated to it. And a lot of times, if those things are difficult, the podcast is such a safe space for the two of us to sit down with each other that it helps a lot,
And it's just
without
fun,
outside stuff.
like right,
It's
like
the
you
most
get in
fun.
there and
It's
you
the
just
most fun
start,
thing in the world.
like Andy will tell you, like I come in when we record, and I'm like, I get like this spurt of energy right when I walk in, and I'm like, I'm fucking with him. I'm doing like what I mean, throwing balls off the wall, and then we sit down and we're doing sound checks, and Emily's getting cameras set up, and he looks over at me, and I'm just like exhausted. Like I in the 30 seconds that took me to walk in here, I wasted every single ounce of energy that I had in those seconds. And then it's like, okay, boom, camera comes back on. Here we go again. Like we just go there and we shoot shit. And that's probably why half the time the things that I say are senseless. But
I feel like we've got a couple of tricks. Like if it's gonna be like if it's like a light week, if we feel like it's gonna be a light show, you start singing some nonsense.
yeah, we do a lot of singing.
We do a lot of singing, which I honestly did not expect, but it's so fun. Because Matthew is not a good singer at all.
I heard you riffing the melody over there.
I'll
it's the
start.
best.
And like again, going back to music, like for whatever reason, there's just certain songs that like associate in my brain, like catchy songs. You know what I mean? And somebody will say something, and I just start singing it. And I do that like all the time, like not even recording a show.
Matthew's
I'll do
a
it
bit
like
of a
in work.
karaoke star as well.
Like I'm not
Karaoke
good at
kingpin?
singing, but
Yeah.
it's a karaoke's a charisma thing. If you can work the stage, I mean, you got it in the
you
bag.
got him. You got him in the palm of your
Yeah.
hand. He's a showman. He's a real showman. That's a fact.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Where can everybody find all your
Oh,
podcasts
beautiful.
and all your content?
The wrap up, the classic wrap up. I've just never been on the other side of it before, so I'm excited. YouTube, Two in the Cooler. Also YouTube for Quested and Schemin' and Dreamin', the other shows that we produce. And if you want to check out the Patreon, it's patreon.com/snackspot. That's like the name of our like company that umbrellas all these shows and stuff. Patreon.com/snackspot. The Captions On podcast is exclusive to that. And there's a lot of other cool stuff that's going to be coming up on there as well. So check that stuff out. And I mean,
What's the subscription for the
it's
Patreon?
$3 a month. Dude.
Oh, that's
It's
not
fucking
bad. Everybody
nothing.
go subscribe. It's
nothing,
$3.
You
dude.
got $3.
It's nothing. It's honestly nothing for you, and it means so much to me. So, so if you got $3, toss it out there, But yeah, just check that out and like.
Yeah, I think the same thing on everything: Instagram,
Yeah,
Twitter,
it's Two in the Cooler. It's all
TikTok.
like the names of
TikTok.
everything.
Yeah,
If you just Google
Two in the Cooler.
like, that shit'll come up. And,
Yeah.
yeah. You might have to look up the others, but it's all on, whatever. Yeah, there you go.
Appreciate it, man. Dope.
What else you got now?
Dude, I think Nell fell asleep in the last 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, he heard you talking about Lawrence of Arabia, and he was like,
That's fair. That's fair.
Gotta get this
Who
kid
is?
out.
Yeah, because it's like I know we can keep going.
I know, but I'm
Dude,
looking at the time now, and I'm even.
It's the hard. It's that. All right, this is the last thing I'll say. It's the hardest thing to say, and it's funny because like on our show, I'm like Andrew, like we have to stop. Like we can't keep people here all night. But being on the other side of it, now I might realize like, oh, like
This
I
is
don't
the
mind
most-
being here. Like yeah, I'm sitting here chilling. Like yeah. But I think that all the time. I'm like, and Andrew's like, no, we can keep going. I'm like, Andy, yeah, we gotta end it.
See, good things. Good
Good
things
things
are
got to
good.
come to an end sometime, right?
Yeah, things are good because they end sometimes. If it was
Goddamn.
there forever, you wouldn't
Dude,
appreciate it.
Still stretching my third eye out. Nice.
Hey,
Yeah, relax with that.
Hey, I don't regret it. I don't take it back. I don't regret it.
Yeah. But nah, we appreciate y'all for coming on.
I do
for
it.
sure.
I say it
Dude,
all
we-
just to see the look I
Yeah,
keep. on
honestly,
your
we
face.
appreciate you guys for having us on. Like we said,
Yeah,
this is only the second
anytime.
time we've ever been on our podcast. I mean, like it's been awesome. You guys are awesome.
This is the
We
first one
appreciate
that'll
it.
actually air. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
And we wanted to repay the favor, right? You guys came on, helped us out, like
Big time.
man.
Yeah.
And you guys just have a good show,
One
right?
hand wash the other, man.
Like-
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Awesome.
appreciate
Thank
you
so
guys.
We
much.
could definitely collab on more stuff in the future.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
we need to-
yeah.
Another viral moment.
Yeah, we'll have you back on. You can do an in-depth breakdown of Dante's Inferno for us once you finish.
book
it.
Yeah, by then I might be able to. I might
Report.
be able to.
Report.
All right, man. No label the pod. We out.
Peace.